you free. I told you you could always count on me. Always count on me.
Greetings to my general viewing audience. It's your man Shane Black, and I'm back. This time with a personal message for Steve Kerr and a general message for the Miami Heat, or what is this? The Heat Group. Let's just jump right into this because this shit just pisses me off. That's why I stopped watching the NBA when they played in the bubble with all that Black Lives Matter shit on the floor. Now, once the veil or curtain is pulled back, then you see that these were some shady motherfuckers who took money, who allegedly took money that was donated to the organization, so they go and buy them some big ass fucking houses. But as I said, let's get right to it. Let us look at this from the Celtics versus Heat game pregame last night. Let's have a look.
We now ask you to join us in a moment of silence for those no longer with us. Thank you. The Heat urges you to contact your state senators by calling 202-224-3121 to leave a message demanding their support for common sense gun laws.
Okay, general viewer. Now, let's listen to what Steve Kerr had to say on the subject of gun control.
Well, nothing's happened with our team in the last 6 hours. We're going to start the same way tonight. Any basketball questions don't matter. In the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California. And now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power. So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? Because that's what it looks like. It's what we do every week. So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight, but I want every person here, every person listening to this to think about your own child or grandchild or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs, Come on, Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. Do you realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check? 90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want. They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
I'm going to do my best to keep the profanity and expletives to a minimum. But here you have individuals and corporations detached from reality talking about shit they have no idea what it actually means in real life. Now, I'm going to give you a number. The Miami Heat gave you a telephone number. Let me give you a telephone number to call as well. That number is, and I'll put it in the description box. What the hell? 786-777-1000. So 786-777-1000. You call the Miami Heat and you let them know to take their thoughts on gun control, wrap them up in maybe some wrapping paper, some Christmas or heavy duty Reynolds wrap aluminum foil, squish it down real tight so it's nice and dense, and then stick their ideas up their collective asses. That's right. Because Mickey Arison, Nick Arison, what the hell? No, Mickey Arison, Nick Arison, and Pat Riley, the executives for the Heat Group. They're not down there in the streets where we are. And I'm not necessarily talking about the ghetto. As crime climbs up and starts to invade middle class areas. Or if you go to Los Angeles, those follow home robberies, that's right. That shit's not taking place in the ghetto. They will follow your ass home from that expensive ass watch shop or jewelry shop and take your shit and whatever else is in your house. Because you don't have a gun. California has some of the strictest gun control laws in this country. Yet Steve Kerr is talking about H.R. 8. So now I'm getting off of that. Because the Heat and those athletes talking about that shit, I will get back to them when I lump it all together at the end. But Steve Kerr talked particularly about H.R. 8. H.R. 8 general viewing on it. Hold on, I need to refresherify my electrolytes. H.R. 8 or H.R. 1446. Now, that quote-unquote universal background check bill, the only thing that it would do with regards to gun control is close what's called the Charleston loop. I don't know what it was, loophole, excuse me. But I don't know what Charleston is based out of or whatever, but the Charleston loophole allows some licensed gun sales to be completed before the background check is finished. That's all it does. So, I mean, if you complete it and then they do the background check, oh shit, you got a felony in that, and it's kind of hard to get your gun back. But that loophole, it does not require background checks in transactions that involve unlicensed and private sellers. So it's like an online purchase, and I may or may not have purchased a few guns online or at gun shows. However, what that simple-minded son of a bitch Steve Kerr does not know is that there are state laws in effect. So depending upon what state you're in, you can't, it already covers the Charleston loophole. So you can't go to a gun show and purchase a gun without a background check in many states. So he's just running his fucking mouth because he does not possess the knowledge to make an intelligent statement on this. And from what I've read, his impassioned speech had to do with the fact that his dad was killed by a gun. And it's unfortunate. Hold on. Let me refresify my electrolytes again. His dad, Malcolm Kerr, died 38 years ago. So he had been 90 if he was still alive. So he was actually serving as president of the American University of Beirut. He had been AUB. He'd have been better off at Auburn because he was doing that shit in the middle of fucking Lebanese civil war. And that put a big ass target on Malcolm Kerr's back. And so what happened is that he was assassinated by Islamic Jihad. Okay, so that's some militant group over there. One of them dudes shot his dad twice in the head. And I feel for you, Steve. I feel for you. But the shit that you're talking about is going to get more black people shot in the back of the fucking head because you're too ignorant and you're too emotionally involved. So you talk about shit and you put the shit, it's like you've got blinders on. So, oh, it's all the Republicans, it's all the Republicans. Are you out of your motherfucking mind? No, it isn't. Yes, Republicans try to maintain power. Yes, Democrats try to maintain power. Unfortunately, Democrats do shit that hurts the fuck out of the black community while pretending to be their friend, and there's too many black people who are so fucking stupid that they believe that shit, even as they're dying in the street. More black people have died at the hands of other black people than have died at the hands of the police. But that's another subject. Time to wrap this Steve Kerr gun control situation. Wrap it up, put it in a box, or put it in a box, then wrap it up and slap a bow on it. And, excuse me. Until Steve Kerr, until the Heat Group, until the NBA in general decides they want to talk about the hundreds of thousands, if not over a million, 2 million Chinese people who have been tortured, who have been killed, who've had their organs removed while they were still healthy, but they took that shit out of their fucking body. Until you want to talk about that, all this other shit you're talking about is disingenuous. Yes, what happened at Robb Elementary School was fucked up. But let me tell you something, Steve. It didn't have shit to do with a universal background check. In that mentally challenged individual legally purchased his gun. So universal background check would not have stopped the purchase of those guns, you stupid son of a bitch. Steve Kerr. And same thing to the Miami Heat the Heat Group. Universal background check would not have stopped that. A universal background check would not have stopped that racist piece of shit from killing them people at that Tops Friendly Market. Hold on. Why? Let me tell you something, and this really is that you Steve Kerr. You can coach like a motherfucker, but you're dumb as fuck. The individual who shot up that Tops Market was admitted to a mental facility and then was released. But because those Democrats that you are so proud of, those Democrats whose penises you want to suck, that you want to suckle on, they have these policies, no bail, restorative justice. Well, let's give them another chance. Those 50 Democrats and their pals in the Democratic Party and the liberals and left-wingers created a situation that covered up the fact that this dude had mental issues and never should have possessed a gun. So do me a favor, Steve Kerr, shut the fuck up unless you know what you're talking about. And right now, the only thing I can tell that you know what you're talking about is coaching a fucking basketball team with individuals who are extremely talented. Now get the fuck off my channel, Steve. I'm out.